like when it comes to doing live on Instagram, you got to compromise between the level and when I can see the comments and stuff like that, and all that kind of stuff. So here we are for Instagram. This is what we're doing, Instagram people. To be honest with the Instagram people, like it's gonna be hard for me to see the comments. And maybe if we got you guys up a little bit more. I don't know. But I mean, it seems like a weird thing to go out of my way for Instagram when only like 3 people watch my Instagram. You're like, why do I even bother? All right, so here we go. We have the moon's going to be here, and this is like all this vegetation and stuff. And I want the silhouette to be. I want the sky to be in the background, which I want the sky to be black, right? I can't tell if people are watching on Instagram because it's so down here and my face is like way up here. And then what sucks is like Instagram doesn't allow me to like you can't anybody that comments now while it's live, those comments disappear. Like I won't know. Thank you, Aaron. Like Instagram says, oh, you're done with your stream. You don't need to see the comments that everybody left. You know what? Let's go. You guys haven't really got a chance to watch me. You guys either haven't really got a chance to watch me. So here, I'm going to be using this. So this is matte black, whereas the other stuff I've been using wasn't matte black. So this is what allows it to dry roughly the same as my brush pens and everything. Like it's a much flatter black so that it's not. I wish I had an example I could show you real quick, but the other ones you could always tell where I put the ink from the can down because it would be shinier. And there is a little bit of difference between this matte black and the black from the brush pen, but it's a lot less. There's a difference in the blacks, but there's not a difference in the shininess, which is part of what the problem was for the other one, was that it was just too shiny. So what I want to do, like this is where, so I want to start thinking about like what I want is the sky. No, it smudges. It smudges like a Mickey Ficky. It dries and it doesn't have that, doesn't have, oh, you know what I was going to try? Shit. I was afraid like I'll lose viewers and stuff, but like, I'll be right back. I'm going to try something. I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to go get a sponge. So I bought these makeup sponges. Hola, Sophia. I bought these makeup sponges to help with watercolor, but I was wondering if it would make clouds. So let's see. We'll grab our spare sheet of paper here. I just want to see. All right, so let's say there's the bob. Well, it's pretty much like dots. It doesn't have like a real. I guess it could be manipulated. I don't know. So if you did that, and then let's say, all right, that kind of looks like clouds. I mean, it's not like I'm trying to draw a night sky. Like I'm not trying to draw a. Oh shit! You know what? You never know until you try, right? So let's turn on the back and see. So his back is going to come up through here. So if I want all this to be cloudy stuff, I'm about to mess this whole thing up. At least that's the way I feel. Oh shit! We'll just do a tester right here. All right, now let's turn off the light and see what we got. All right, that looks kind of cloudy. So maybe what we'll do now is we'll come in and we'll try to give it a more hard bottom, kind of indicate that it's coming up to the. Let's see how this looks in just a second. Where I'm going to test this, and then I'm going to come back with the sponge and try to soften it up a little bit. I think that looks pretty cool. I guess we'll do a couple more. It seems so much of a gamble. Golly, like if you mess up, boy, you're messing up. Oh shit, I got stuff on my fingers. I got to be careful. All right, so if the back's coming through here, I want a cloud to like be going behind him, right? So let's get another little one right here. No risk, no reward, right? And let's see, we'll put another one like right in here. I just want to remember this so I don't have to turn the light on. We'll carry that to about there. And then we'll say we'll just do another one up here in the corner. And then that'll be it for the big clouds. And then everything else I can just. Oh shit, she can't see the top of the pic. I can't really get it to go up there. All right, so now I think I'm done with this. So we'll set this up here. Although he feels like he's going to roll away. He is going to roll away. Shit. All right, so now what I'll do is we'll put in that flat bottom. Like this. And then we're just gonna like end it right here. Like we're gonna say that's where we'll have to finesse this a little bit when it comes time to put the back of our character in it. All right, so we'll do that, and then now just soften it up just a little bit. Maybe like a little drag here and there. All right, I don't know. It's new, and it's not the focus of the picture, so it should be okay. We're just trying shit out, man. I've never done this before. So we'll see what happens. All right. I think we're almost done with this little experiment here. Yeah, this may not be the best way to do this. Hmm. There's just not enough. There's not a Either that or I just haven't mastered it. Like I'm not a master of this sponge. I imagine there's some ladies out there that could probably master the sponge a lot better than I have here. But so there we go. We did it. Bob Ross would be proud. All right. Well, we got some of those in there. So now we'll just fill in the rest of the sky. And I was thinking, like, just giving the indication. You know what if we did just more black all over the sky like this? Let's see what that looks like. Just use the different values in the black to just kind of indicate a sky. All right, let's see. Oh shit, I'm getting ink all over the place. We're about to have a Silverbacks fiasco. So if I just do this, let's see. So this is the back, right? So I just want to, but I want the back to be clean. I want it to be lit properly, and that's where I'm gonna like doing this digital would be way easier than this. Yeah, there's this would be much easier in a digital environment. Or maybe in an environment where someone who knew what the hell they were doing was doing it. I was thinking about using some masking fluid, but I've never really used masking fluid on this type of paper before, so I wasn't sure how that would work. Look at this, just big, just smearing paint all over some shit. Actually, not paint, it's ink. So I guess I'm just trying to make a sky that looks, it looks cool. Just an interesting sky, I guess. There's no real, I'm not putting a lot of thought into it at the moment. Trying to, oh, the moon is over here. I got to keep track of where the moon is. I don't want to. So right there, right there. So I want to just not have that. Like I'm trying to get by without drawing just a straight line around the moon. This is probably not how you're supposed to do this. So I need some more ink apparently. Trying not to get into the moon area. Oh, you know what? We're going to end up maybe using some white and doing the opposite for the moon area. Who knows? We could do whatever we want. Just trying to make sure that we can keep it off of the guy. Maybe start dragging it a little more to make some different, so that everything doesn't look like a tennis ball. All right. Let's see what we ended up with. I'm sure it's great. All right, so what we need to do is we need to focus on getting this guy's outline done. So that way we can, this side is easier because I'm right-handed. So that's why we're starting over here, just so I can kind of start creating these little things. It was a dark, damp night. Why does everything look like tennis balls? So what we'll do is we're going to have to come back and to help sell this background, we're going to have to come back in here with some white. And that's always a chore because white doesn't, there's no such thing as like a good white for this type of stuff that I have found. You know what? I always, anytime I say something, just mean as far as I know. Doesn't mean that one doesn't exist. It just means I have yet to. And then even though you guys may not see it, like when it comes to the black areas, like I'm still trying to have texture in the blacks. Like I tried to make it look like furry shit down there in some places. So that way when this is on somebody's wall, it will still, it will hold the value of, oh man, that's a sweet piece. You know, I'm glad that's on my wall. Look at all this interesting stuff that I couldn't see just from the post, you know, on Facebook. I want them to be proud to show this off, you know? Be like, dude, you'll never imagine. Like this guy's worth so much more than he charged me for this. Check this out. Like that type of shit. Like that's what I'm shooting for. Let's see. Is anybody's on Instagram? One person is on Instagram. Here we go. We'll go back to this. I guess I can scoot it up for the Instagram folks. I don't know. If I had another mic stand arm, I could have the Instagram people looking down as well, like looking from above instead of looking sideways like they're doing right now. No, this is about as close as I'm going to get to the edge of the page. Because when you're doing comic book work, there's like a 1-inch border all the way around that gets chopped off anyway. So all you have to do is just make it to that 1-inch border. And when you do these, like it's a lot of work to sit here and try to do this all the way to the edge. And it's just not something I plan on doing. All right. So while we're here, this right here is the side of his head, right? So we'll have this going around like this. And but if our moon is the source, then that means there's a lot of cast shadow. So most of this arm, we're about to just get into it. We're about to just blacken that bitch out. So we're just going to put these big blocks in here and kind of feel out where the shadow would be. But I want to keep the edge. I want to keep the edge so that we can see. So just like right up to the edge, and then little stuff like this. And then this would be all black in here. Now, the top of the forearm, though, on the other hand, will catch light. So we'll have to stop our shadow. So let's just go ahead and do this. We're going to come around the hand. And then there's where our shadow, this is where we'll start pretending that's where the forearm is coming out into the light. So we'll just draw this. And this will have almost completely black because that deltoid would be just really putting this into the shadows. So this whole thing will be like this. And then we'll just kind of dirty up the edges so that it's not this smooth. Then we'll carry it all the way right around to the end right there. All right, and then we'll start working this deltoid moss. But see, we've really just done like just this outline. So we'll come in like this and kind of work backwards into making these little textures. And with this, we're just locking in big blocks. We're still going to have to come in here with our liner pins and throw in all the accoutrement that makes it interesting to look at, like all of the little berries and twigs and shit like that. Like all that stuff is we're just getting in big blocks of color of black so that we can we can see it when it comes time to do the little work. And you can just make up shapes. You can just put these little balls right here. You're like, what are those? Who knows what they are? You just putting these little balls in here, a little squiggly going off into this way. Who knows? It's a swamp, man. You can just do whatever you want. Yeah, it's a swamp, man. And then this would kind of be covered too, just a little bit. But that's the edge of his head. So we're going to take artistic license and leave a little bit of rim light on his head. because we don't want to lose the silhouette of the head coming around. And we'll put like, see, this is the head too, still coming around here. So we don't want to get too involved. And then this is still the other side. And then this whole side of the forearm, I guess we're pretty much almost at a stopping point. I'm going to lay a lot of black down on this forearm here. And then I'm going to have to let this dry before I come back to it. Because it's starting to be close to looking good. So I don't want to jeopardize that by having all this wet ink, and then Brian's tendency to just go back over stuff, and then bam, now you got this blob that can't be fixed. All right, so if his hand is outstretched like that and the moonlight is behind him, so this, like, we can cover almost all of this. And it'll help push that hand forward. Just adding these little textures. I'm not sure what they are. They're just things. And then like this stuff is kind of attached. So he's got some stuff that's just dragging off of his, so we can make these shapes and then have them just drag down. Make a shape and then just have it drag down. And it'll all start to make sense, like when we come back with our liner pens and just try to make sense of all this chaos that we've just created. But when we put in these big blocks, well, when I put in these big blocks of color or these big blocks of ink, like, it helps me understand. It helps me see the bigger picture so that I can figure out where I'm going with it, because I don't really come into it with a big eye, with much forethought. Let's put like a big area there. Like there's something that's just blocking the light right there. And sometimes I'll notice that all of my brush strokes start to look about the same width and stuff, because I just take it and draw it. So I'll come back and I'll add width to some of them and just adjust them so that it doesn't look, just so it doesn't look lazy. Yeah, so I think we're going to let this dry. And you know what? Let's just we're going to put the lid on this guy. All right, so the lid is on the black. So part of the problem we're getting to the point where now it's going to be hard for Brian to make a mess. And also what I've done, let's see, did anybody on Instagram say anything? Oh, it says can't forget the Rylog and the berries. Yeah, well, I'm gonna do more stuff, since I'm not super familiar with the character's backstory. I'm not sure what the Rylog is, or if that's like, sometimes you know there's something central to the character that I'm just, since I'm not a huge I don't have a lot of information. Sometimes I don't know that, oh, when you draw the crow, you've got to draw him with the scar across his nose. Like, and then because it wasn't that way in the movie, I don't know that unless somebody tells me, because I don't, my crow library is small. My crow knowledge. So if there's some sort of Rylog or whatever he said that is like central to, like one time I drew a zombie tramp, and I didn't realize that the zombie tramp, there are specific bite marks on zombie tramp that are zombie tramp. And I just drew, a green girl that had bite marks and stuff on her, but it obviously wasn't the real zombie tramp because the bite marks aren't where they're supposed to have been. But I didn't know that. That was a long time ago, though. So when this is over, I'll have to look up and see if there's anything I can see that's called a Rylog. So to kind of pull this head line out, I'm going to kind of keep all of this a little darker so that we can have a reason to see the outline of the head. Yeah, so that's cool. Let's see if he's responding with what the Rylog is. Twig. Oh, twigs and berries. All right, so yes, twigs and berries. Although the adult twigs and berries are covered up in the shadows. But yeah, this is quickly going to get out of control, and I'm going to lose myself in the moment. But so I'm just going to let this dry. So there's where we are. There's our sky. There's our girl. There's our thing. So that is where we're going to stop for now. I think this will probably be the last live stream that I do for this piece. So I will post a picture of this on my Facebook and on my IG stories. So thank you, follow, support, do all the things, and get shit done. That's a quit, man. Bye-bye.